Welcome to a podcast named Tim. This is another Mighty Morphin Power Rangers review, and today we're going to be doing episode 9, For Whom the Bell Trolls. You see what they did there. And we're also going to be rating the monster of the week, Mr. Ticklesneezer. Yes, that is his name. If you never checked the show out, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. And we do a quick episode review, and then again, rate the monster on our one-of-a-kind 25-point system where we look at 5 different categories and see how Mr. Ticklesneezer holds up. So we'll go ahead and get right into the episode. But again, hit that subscribe button. So it's Hobby Week at the high school, which is basically show and tell. Of course, all the students and specifically the Rangers are highlighting things that they are interested in. And the main one and the main focus of the episode is Trini, the Yellow Ranger. She's showing off a doll collection that she has. She has dolls from different cultures, and her favorite doll is Mr. Ticklesneezer. It's a doll, I guess. Basically, it looks like a gnome with kind of a farmer outfit and a knapsack, a backpack, knapsack, whatever. You know what I mean. There's probably a picture here somewhere for it, but that's what he looks like. And she says that this was her favorite that belonged to her mother. We find out later that his ability, and this is through both told through Trini through like a fairy tale and reiterated later by Rita and crew, is that he can capture things in a magic bottle. Rita is very, very jealous because she never had time to play with dolls, and so that is her beef this episode and why she wants to use Mr. Ticklesneezer. You know, not all good ideas or reasons for revenge are always good ones. Sometimes they're very petty. But Jason shows off his karate. Billy shows off a volcano. Kimberly shows off her gymnastic skills. And Zach shows off some surfing. So each ranger kind of shows what they're interested in, and it's what you would expect. I did not see Zach with the surfing. I thought we were going to get some more dancing, but it's good to know he's interested in other things as well. Bulk and Skull, of course, have been scoffing at these the whole time. And when class is done, they go up to play basically hot potato with Mr. Ticklesneezer. At the end of the day, we cut directly to Trini's bedroom. She is going to sleep, and Rita decides to send Squat in order to steal Mr. Ticklesneezer. So he sneaks in. He has some kind of gadget in his hand that he presses a button. It turns Mr. Ticklesneezer into a sentient being, and then he is basically transported to Rita, and he's scared. He's very scared of Rita. It's not your normal monster demeanor where, you know, I want to destroy the Power Rangers, I'm evil, and yada yada. He's very fearful, and he just says he likes to collect goodies in his bottle, and basically the fairy tale is that he collects anything he sees as a goodie. And the plan here is that she's going to use him to capture the Power Rangers in his little magic bottle. So a very interesting plan. Billy and Trini are out looking for Ticklesneezer because when she wakes up the next morning, she's seen that her doll is missing. And so they're driving around, and wouldn't you know it, right there walking across the street, a giant life-size version of Mr. Ticklesneezer. And he ends up collecting the car and Billy and Trini as well. So 2 Rangers have been collected, and there are 3 more to go. Will he collect more? Who knows? But Jason, Zach are training at the gym, and Kimberly is kind of setting up some boards for them before Jason has the full ability and time to break the boards and show off his full talents. They are, of course, contacted by Zordon. Bulk ends up chopping a cake to show off his karate ability. And when we go to the command center, we do find out that Rita has planned to have Goldar, Squat, and Putties, and Babu, I believe, all protect Ticklesneezer. So she knows he's a weaker monster and not a combat-oriented monster, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but she has specifically set down the other people to protect him so he can do what he needs to do. So good planning by Rita. After a fight that ensues, Ticklesneezer ends up tripping and dropping the bottle, then Kimberly gets it. Goldar comes after her. She drops it again. It's basically in a a train track and a train is coming. She saves it just in time, opens it up, saves Billy and Trini, and they're able to morph. They immediately, go to the Megazord. So not a lot of combat here, but immediately go to the Megazord, and it should be noted that Mr. Ticklesneezer uses his bottle to capture the the Megazord. So that's very impressive. They do end up calling down the sword and the Megazord, and when it hits the ground and the ground rumbles, he drops the bottle again. So he's got a little bit of Butterfingers issue, and that is actually when he drops the bottle. That's how the Megazord gets out, and they actually do not defeat him. They basically scold him and say, "You know you're not supposed to be doing this. You're not a bad guy. Put back everything that you stole," and he does. So an interesting, I don't want to say anticlimactic, but not expected, breaking the formula a little bit. But what's interesting here is Trini ends up waking up after this and says it was a dream. So I don't know if it was actually a dream or I don't know. It was a little confusing. She seems to make it seem like this was just a dream. So maybe this episode didn't even happen. Points off. You can only use that like once a show, and I think they use that a couple times in Power Rangers. So don't use that so early on. Either way, we end of course on Bulk and Skull showing off what they are interested in, and of course it is a flea circus, and the fleas are missing and are on the teacher, and she is not appreciative of that, obviously. But all in all, and not a great episode. I mean, look, your opponent is Mr. Ticklesneezer. What else do I need to say? And it's interesting because he's not a typical villain, which is an interesting concept where it's someone he just likes to collect things. He doesn't really see good or bad. He's just like, I like that shiny object. Open up my bottle, and I'm gonna get it. But how does he rate? How does he hold up? Overall, there are 5 categories that I use to rate monsters. It is look, plan, powers, success, and voice. So 5 points total in each of those categories would lead you to a 25 out of 25, which would be the best monster ever. So for look, I gave him a 1 out of 5. It is a very ugly design, in my humble opinion, and I will say the monster is much better looking than the actual doll. So for what it's worth, but I gave it a 1. For the plan, I gave a 3. I think this is kind of a typical plan. We're going to separate some of the Rangers and trap them in something. That's a very reoccurring theme, especially in Mighty Morphin. So, a 3. And a specific monster was used to do it, and we're using something that is very close and personal to the Rangers, which Rita really likes to do, and I think we're going to really start getting those episodes where she notices something the Rangers are attached to personally, and she's going to use that to be the monster of the week and to, kind of psych him out a little bit. So this is the first one that I can remember where she's really starting to do that. Powers 2, it is somewhat of a unique power, but I think there are some other Mighty Morphin, even season 1 monsters that do this. And the big thing is whenever he drops his bottle, he's completely useless and he does nothing else. So a 2 for powers. Success, I gave a 3. The thing is with the successes, he was able to capture the Megazord. He was able to capture 2 of the Rangers. Even though he had all the help, it was planned out help. So it was tactical help in some respects. So I gave him a 3 for success and a 2 for voice. It's what I would expect Mr. Ticklesneezer to sound like, if that makes any sense. But if I'm adding it up correctly, 1 for look, 3 for plan, 2 for powers, 3 for success, and 2 for voice. That is 11 total. So certainly a lower end monster of the week. I appreciate that we're using a unique style monster and again going after the Rangers' personal attachments, but I would have liked a little bit more from the actual monster. It's Mr. Ticklesneezer. Do I need to say any more? You've seen this episode. You know. But anyway, we'll see you all next time for the next Power Rangers review, whether it be Mighty Morphin or Beast Morphers. We are doing both currently. And be on the lookout for Dino Fury when that comes out here in a couple months. So see you all next time on a podcast named Tim. Before you go, do not forget to hit that subscribe and like button. Thank you.